Hi guys, welcome to this lesson. This lesson is about the AWS Client VPN. So it is exactly what it sounds like. This is a way that you can connect your client computer to the AWS data center to a VPC via a VPN connection, so a virtual private network connection. So let's say you've got a computer which is Windows or Mac or Linux. You're able to set up a client connection from there into a VPC, and that means you're then able to communicate with resources in that VPC. So you might be able to connect to an EC2 instance directly using private IP addresses. Now, of course, it's a virtual private network, so that does mean that it's encrypted as well, end to end. So let's look at how you set them up. So here we have a region. In that region, we have a VPC with a couple of subnets. Now, we create a VPN endpoint, and the VPN endpoint is associated with subnets. So the client VPN network interfaces are created in the subnet. And that is the method by which the VPN connection is then able to communicate with resources in the subnets, because there is an association between this network adapter that's provisioned into the subnet and the VPN endpoint. We then have the client computer, and that's going to be running some VPN software. The VPN software is not AWS software, so you need to choose one of the available options. There's lots of free options. In the hands-on, in the next lesson, we're going to use OpenVPN. The client software will establish a connection with the VPN endpoint over SSL TLS, so port 443, and that's going to be via the internet. The VPN endpoint will actually perform source network address translation from the CIDR block that's associated with the VPN client to the CIDR block that's associated with the VPC. And on the client side, if you look in your route table, you can run a command on Windows which is route print, and you would then see your route table, and you'd be able to see that you have a destination for the CIDR block of the VPC and a gateway which is pointing at the VPN endpoint. So that's the theory behind how a client VPN works. Again, this is an encrypted connection over the internet from your computer. So your computer is then able to communicate using private IP addresses over to your instances in your subnets within your VPC. So that's how it all works. And in the next lesson, we're going to set this up using a Windows client on Amazon Workspaces and a VPN endpoint.